a majority of the website market, revenue-wise, is still your, everyday non-important consumable. So realistically, I see the chat AI era revolutionizing a lot sooner than the Amazon period did with our parents, because it's not taking over the website, but what it's doing is it's taking over the ability and taking away time to find the product that they need to receive.
Welcome to the Awesome Pod, where we talk a lot. E-com is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop. Amir from the agency and Jimmy from SaaS. John has an Android, but give him a pass, cause he's an operator building brands like a carpenter. And that's Brian, he is the marketer. Like I said, this the Awesome Pod, where we talk a lot. E-com is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.
What is up? And welcome back to the Awesome Pod, a show about perspective from the eyes of an agency, SaaS, operator, and marketer focused on the D2C, retail, and e-commerce space. All right, boys, we are here, dude. We are a couple weeks away from the big Black Friday, and we're doing a digital pod here today, so it's great to see you guys all. How you guys doing? John Roman, Mr. Android Survival King, how you doing?
I'm good. Good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor of Chicago, President in Bosnia, whatever the hell we want to call him these days. What's up, dude? You doing good?
I'm great. When I'm with you guys, I'm always great.
Okay. And Brian, thank you for joining us, Mr. Usually you disappear on these things, but there you are in the flesh. And where are you, in the basement? Where are we at?
Yeah, we're in the basement, lock the door. A lot of 3 of us are on time today, and it feels good to be one of them.
Okay. Who's upstairs if you locked yourself in the basement? The kids?
Yeah. So I told Haley we got some pods today, and I told her, you got to keep the kids upstairs, so they'll be home from school in like an hour. And I essentially created a fortress down here. No one can come down here.
Jesus. So he's literally calling from the basement of his house, his bunker.
Hey, I'm in the basement too.
On time. Yeah.
On time. We must reiterate that. With that, talking about on time, we're going to be talking today, guys, about websites. There's been a lot of changes happening over this past year with a lot of things happening with AI. And the title, our clickbait title that even got Brian to click on this episode was "Websites Are Dead, Long Live AI Commerce." Okay? Look. Here's the thing, right? We know we have the website guy on the pod here right now. So this is going to be like something that we're going to be like, basically Amir's going to feel attacked the whole time, and he may get a little mad. But the reality is, look, the trend's undeniable, guys. Things are changing. Consumers are browsing. I don't know about you guys, but my wife is like, doesn't use Google search anymore. She asks chat everything now. I don't know about anyone else. Yes?
Yeah, my wife's the same way. She doesn't even know how it works, but she will ask it and then just click links based off of what she asks it, right? That's what she does.
Yeah. And then, some of the other things that I started doing when I was doing research for this pod today to kind of talk about it was like, we have things like TikTok Shop and Amazon and all these things that are happening right now, which are not relying on your website to make a purchase anymore. Third-party sites, right? Temu's to the Amazons. These are marketplaces, but ultimately they're becoming a bigger part of a lot of the consumer lives out there. And so, most brands, when you think about what's happening is that, the website's becoming, it's still important. Is it part of the brand? I guess so right now. And the question really becomes, is it even relevant into the future? And so this comes to someone who is on our pod who talks about websites quite often, Amir. And I'll start with you, man. Like, when you hear about AI and AI commerce and all the things, and then, I've been hearing email marketing is dead for like 20 years now. And now, websites are going to be irrelevant. Like, how's it feel, man? That's never been a statement that people have made.
No, people made that statement before. It's
when?
History. I mean, Facebook Shop. Oh my God, we're gonna not ever shop on the platform before. Instagram shopping. How much is that gonna take away from Shopify? It's a cyclical thing. Google shopping, different iterations of it. I think it's really hard. I think technology is great, but I think it's really, really hard to change human behavior. Now, you could potentially start changing human behavior with the younger generations, but the fact is, for the foreseeable future, the deep pockets are with, older, 25 and up, 35 and up 35 to 55, generally speaking. So one thing that I've been doing research on is actually trying to understand how do we help our brands position to be more more attractable to being suggested by artificial intelligence chatbots. But the problem is there's only 0.15% of all web traffic is referred by a chatbot. That's a very, very small sliver, even with everything that's happening.
It probably is growing, though.
I'm sorry?
It probably is growing, though.
It is growing, but we're talking about 0.15.
Yeah. It's a fair spot.
But look, here's
Even
a
if it was
stat.
10%, it's not a big deal.
Well, no, but here's the stat, Mayor. Like they're saying basically that 70% of Gen Z product delivers. So Gen Z, younger generation, to your point, 70% is happening on like the TikTok's creators marketplace, non-traditional home site, right? They're not looking at it. They're on Reddit. They're on all these other places, learning about your product. They only end up buying at the easiest, most frictionless place today, which is your website right now, in my opinion, which is where people, unless you have a big commerce site, of course, right? But most other people enjoy their stuff.
But it changes. Take ourselves for an example. I think, Jimmy, you might be an exception to the rule here because you're so active on social media. But as you get older, as your priorities change, you engage in different manners with different brands. So I think once you have a kid, as an example, you may start to do more research and not just go on an impulse to buy. I bought some stuff on Instagram. I bought some stuff on TikTok. It happens. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's only $10. But for anything more serious that we want to bring to our home, I think moms and dads think twice about buying it. You're not going to buy furniture on TikTok.
I don't know. Brian, have you bought anything off TikTok?
Well, I mean, listen, Brian's bought. I mean, you name it, Brian's bought it, and on every channel. I've tried everything. But I think the cool thing to think about watching like the evolution of like consumer buyers is our parents, for example, didn't take that long to be accustomed to Amazon for everyday purchases, and I think. This is going to be a Brian stat, so please someone look this up, see if it's true. A majority, I'm not going to throw a real number out there, of all purchases online are everyday items, right? We're talking about, hey, I need a new charger. I need batteries, toilet paper. I need a consumable that I ran out of and I need something very quick. Years back, not even 10 or 15 years ago, our parents used to go to the store to buy those things, right? Now Amazon sort of within a decade stole all of that traffic where my dad now will be like, oh, damn it, I need a new Roku remote. And he'll be sitting there typing in Roku remote on Amazon. He doesn't even care if it's a Roku Amazon knockoff. He just looks at like, what's going to get to my house for the cheapest price and hit buy, right? Yeah. So they've already removed they transferred the like boomer Gen X consumer for your everyday consumable or everyday refillable. They drove right from retail automatic to a marketplace. Websites are irrelevant in that field. And I think we did that in within a decade time period where you don't need a website for that generation, right? All they are looking for is that specific fix. And that's where Amazon met Google's needs, but gave a one-click frictionless buy. And I think websites now are outside of your battle boxes and almost prides. A majority of the website market, revenue-wise, is still your, everyday non-important consumable. So realistically, I see the chat AI era revolutionizing a lot sooner than the Amazon period did with our parents, because it's not taking over the website, but what it's doing is it's taking over the ability and taking away time to find the product that they need to receive. And all they're doing is now saying, like my wife, balloons for birthday party frozen. Like she said that out loud to ChatGPT. And then like links popped up for frozen balloons. And then she just clicked and bought frozen balloons.
Wait, like, what are frozen balloons?
Frozen
for kids.
The movie, not not physically frozen. I was.
Yeah. It's all right, Jimmy.
Okay,
Don't worry.
I'm sitting here thinking like ice balloons. I was like, they don't float very well.
Yeah, that wouldn't really. That could be an untapped market, though. Could be an untapped market.
Great margin.
Yo, OmniSend is back with some new swag. AI is now in the mix. Yeah, you heard that. Smarter and better. Let AI decide. Personalize every line. Take your brand worldwide. How about 24/7 support? MJ of basketball, but email to sports. So sit back, relax, watch the magic unfold. Let the folks at OmniSend get your story told. Tired of staring at blank pages? OmniSend AI doesn't hit you with writer's block. Their new AI writes your emails, personalizes content, and builds customer segments instantly. Just whisper who it's for, and AI figures out the rest. Join 125,000 users already winning with OmniSend's email, SMS, and push notifications. Backed by 24/7 amazing support, visit omnisend.com today and let them know Awesome sent you.
To your point there, you made a lot of good points, but dude, the stats, let's go to data because I know you love data, and I came back with a lot of good data today for our conversation. 37%. That's the number of e-commerce transactions that Amazon itself owns. That's 37%, and that's climbing. And that doesn't include Walmart.com or TikTok or IG.
Target now or one of those, yeah.
You could arguably probably put them all together and be over 50-60% at this point.
So my argument to that number is going to rise on marketplaces. I spoke to John about this quite a bit because the acquisition cost just keeps rising. It's not a sustainable thing in the way we do marketing today, depending on the metas and all of that. So we're going to hit a wall. I don't know when it is. I don't know what that wall looks like. We're going to hit it, but we used to be a marketplace economy. The good thing that Amazon did is they figured out how to cater the marketplace economy to the masses, where somebody who used to be a leader like eBay didn't do as good of a job keeping it.
So wait, I would even go back further, Amer, if you're thinking about marketplaces. Technically, if you think about a JCPenney or Macy's or a Walmart, the physical store, or a Target, those are all technically marketplaces in retail format.
It is. The only difference is that Amazon and eBay, to give them credit, they allowed brands to sell direct on there. Not necessarily like, I don't know what the model was before, dropship and things like that. People could, on Amazon and eBay, create their own experiences to a degree, even though they didn't own a customer. Where with the Macy's and JCPenney's of the world,
it's an evolution, but it's the same principle of what it was, a marketplace. It's a modern day marketplace on a website, basically.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. To Brian's point, 10, 15 years ago, there's no way you would find Apple or Nike on Amazon. Oh, that's not on our brand. We wouldn't allow that. Now, every single brand is on Amazon.
You have to be.
You have to. Yeah, but going back to that, like, these are, and what helped, I think it was the year of COVID, 2020, Amazon crossed 100 million Prime subscribers, I think it was, or 200 million, and I think they gained 50 million in 1 year. So it was like a 25% growth. So like you did need a huge event to even catapult somebody like Amazon, and to Brian's point, the older generation was forced now to interact with apps and other ways because that's the only way they could contact and shop and do all of these other things. Think about it. We've been even talking about, to go back to the AI conversation, brick and mortar is going to die. Brick and mortar is going to die. No,
it's actually thriving, I would say. Brick and mortar is coming back in a weird new way these days.
But it's cyclical. Everything is cyclical. And I'm sure websites are going to take a hit, but then websites are going to come back, because they are curated experiences.
Dude, talking about cycles, I want to talk to you about this because this is interesting. John, do you have a mobile app by chance?
We do, yeah.
Yeah? Brian, do you have a mobile app?
No.
They just got on Shopify. Sorry. Yeah. I just forgot.
Let's relax.
I forgot. Sorry. We're technology. This is good, bro. This is good. Another stat, because you're talking about cycles right now. Remember when mobile was hot in like 2010, 2011, right? Dude, 80% of e-commerce sessions are mobile now, right? And the bounce rates are insanely high these days. What do you think is happening? Why mobile hasn't taken? I feel like app behavior was accelerating and then it slowed down. So to your point,
Responsive
mobile was
design.
going to replace the website at one point, right? The mobile apps and different things, and it never happened. What do you think the
Because
friction
you
looked
had to
like?
build two separate experiences back in the day. You had to build a mobile version of your website, and you had to build a desktop version of your website, not to think about all the different screens. And then responsive design came, and we're saying, why are you spending $150,000 on an app if a CSS style sheet can take care of everything? There wasn't a need for it.
It just wasn't. It wasn't where it is. Like, you know, yes,
No-
people use the app. Yes, it gives us the ability to do push notifications, which is another touch. So there's value there.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
I think mobile apps will make a comeback, similar to the reason with the marketplaces. If people leverage mobile apps for retention purposes, tactfully, even if you talk to platforms like Tapcart, they're not selling responsiveness anymore or whatever. They're selling retention.
Yeah,
Hey.
Royal Superfans, right? There's a company called Superfans out there. That does the
Exactly,
same thing. There's a
exactly.
bunch of them out there. But I feel like the mobile app world has been really weird, and we're just talking about cycles here. I remember when mobile was such a big topic, and everyone was jumping to mobile, e-commerce sessions are mobile. But ultimately, I think what's happened in the past is that the actual wallet share, the person making the purchase on the other end, tended to be an older crowd, trusted the computers, which is why more conversions still happen on the computer. But as the world is moving forward and the changes are happening and people are adopting technology, I mean, AI on the mobile experience is an incredible thing because you can literally ask the world anything you want nowadays, right? Why couldn't that become more like your mobile website becomes a chatbot, essentially? It becomes an agentic chatbot where someone has a conversation with your brand through the website.
So here's a funny part that I came across, and it goes both ways. You could do it that way. I think we're talking about human behavior, and there's a lot of tools and apps that are already trying to cater to that. But statistically speaking, when we look at it, people still like to browse, because the problem is, like, even with adoption of AI, think about it this way: every single person that uses ChatGPT right now does it on a basic sense, outside of those technocrats like ourselves, but very basic sense. The reason for it is they don't know what to ask to get what they need. People need to see, like, it's the whole Steve Jobs things. Like, I'm going to show you a product you didn't know you needed. Like when he came out with the iPod. Nobody thought 5,000 songs in my pocket. People don't know what they crave until they see it. Just like food. I'm not hungry right now, but you put like freaking pizza in front of me right now, I'm going to eat 6 slices because I'm hungry for it.
Sounds like you're hungry.
I love
I'm not right now, but I'm just saying, like, we eat with our eyes, whether it's consuming a product, window shopping, and all of these things. These are human psychological elements that are not going to take a technology to move it forward. For some people, yes, but not for everyone. My bigger worry is with people searching and adapting AI, even with Google, because Google with Gemini and everything like that is, how do we now market to humans, like we've been trying to figure out for decades now, and now also then trying to figure out how do we market to AIs to recommend us and shop for us and look for the right product on our website. So I think as this increases and AI gets enabled even more, we're at the infancy of AI, we as brands, as marketers, as agencies, going to have to think about two different tracks, the human track and the AI track, and how they're going to engage with the website. That's going to be the challenge.
That's a good point, actually. I mean, I had this thing saved here on my screen here. I'm going to pull it up real quick for you guys to kind of see it. But, you know, I had this little thing. I don't know if you guys saw this on X the other day, but basically this guy who is the founder of an AI visibility app called Lorelight is shutting it down because he said that there is no such thing as AI, SEO, or GEO, whatever you want to call it. The strategy does not work, and that's the reason he's shutting it down. And this thing went viral for a while where people were talking about it. And I thought it was a really interesting conversation, just saying that, like, new ideas are forming out of this stuff, but to what you just said, we're really early, and we actually don't know what we don't know. And I think it's showing up a lot of the way on the web now today. Any thoughts on this stuff?
I 100% agree. I mean, if you listen to Sam Altman, he even says to himself, I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
The leader in the
Yeah,
space.
bunch of the people that are pushing so hard to sell it. I mean, the
To sell us.
super majority.
But they're
are
also
grifters.
doing like $15 billion of revenue or something insane too already.
So
in like 2
interesting.
years.
Neither here nor there, but my behavior has changed as of recent. So I went on. My Google usage was going down, 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 down. My ChatGPT usage was going up, 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 up. A lot of people truly believe at this point that when you're looking at these language models, that Gemini is now making massive strides, and you can't do a Google search now without Gemini being the top part. I've gone back. My ChatGPT usage is now going back down, and my Google usage is going back up to normal because Google is now married the old and the new, and it's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's a valid point. When I was on the phone with you, John, when I was filling you in about there was like a couple famous people at the wedding I was just at in Miami. Were you looking up their names?
Google.
You were using Google.
I was using Google. Yeah.
Interesting.
So what I've noticed, and this is the nerd in me, is I tested like Claude, OpenAI, Perplexity, Gemini, and Gronk, and to give each credit, they all
Gronk is a football player. Grok.
No, Amir was actually using Gronk, Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, Gronk is.
Yeah,
right.
I
He
was,
wasn't
I was.
using Gronk.
Yeah, everything was
He
misspelled.
Right, yeah. I just
He was
got that
using
too. I was like, I
Gronk
didn't
wasn't
pronounce it
very
right.
good compared to them.
Yeah,
but
Gronk's not very good at the AI.
just
thing.
asking Gronk questions.
Yeah.
Gronk, what do you think of this?
Now I have to take all the criticism of Elon Musk back because I was talking to the wrong one.
Talking to the New England Patriots.
No wonder
tight
you
end.
didn't like it.
Oh,
Competitor data, right at your fingertips. That's a particle has, so don't think of it. Genie in a bottle to grant you a bigger wish. Hungry for more, they'll serve food on a bigger dish. Provide an AI analyst for all the trends. Stop guessing, start winning, let them be your friend. Track retail sales to your advantage. They're a genie in a bottle. Your wish is granted. Are you tired of relying on guesswork when it comes to pricing your products or understanding your competitors? Meet Particle, the AI-powered data platform built for modern e-commerce brands. With Particle, you'll get real-time insights, competitor analysis, and pricing intelligence. Whether you're scaling your D2C brand or optimizing your strategy, Particle helps you make smarter decisions faster. Check out particle.com today and tell them Awesome sent you.
but when I was comparing them, they're all really good at each specific thing. Like Claude is a lot more technical. Grok, I meant to say Gronk again. Gronk is a lot better at images and things like that. I did that on purpose. But OpenAI, ChatGPT for me, and Gemini are two I use the most. I feel Gemini for me. Do you guys remember? I think maybe Google still has it. I always search in my address bar, so I don't know. I'm feeling lucky feature where they would just give you exactly what you're looking for, take you to the website. I feel Gemini is that, like especially when I'm shopping, when I want a direct, short answer. Gemini is incredible. When I want to research something, it's OpenAI. I will not, because like if I'm doing something research or something like a deeper thing, I have to do 10 searches on Google and Gemini to get the answer that I want, where with OpenAI or ChatGPT, I can have a continuous conversation and it understands the context as I'm kind of going through everything. So, but that's just me and how it works for me. So like,
No, I
I
think that's accurate for probably most.
Yeah, I'm
I still
surprised
think
you're not
ChatGPT
like.
is ahead in that.
Yeah, I'm surprised since Shopify partnered with ChatGPT recently. I'm surprised that you're not like all in on ChatGPT purely for the fact that like, that's where Shopify is going with everything.
well, the thing is, Shopify, I believe, invested in Perplexity, huge amount.
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean, they all it's all incestual at some level.
Yeah.
I
But-
still don't think and there's obviously a path where they do, but I'm not sure OpenAI wins the AI wars. They might have been
Well,
first.
the leader doesn't always win, right?
Yeah, I
Yahoo
don't know
was
if
the
they
leader.
win.
Remember, Google took over the search game.
Yeah, remember Blockbuster and Hollywood Video?
Yeah,
Ooh,
but that's
Hollywood
different.
Video.
That was a format change. I'm talking about direct competitors that one led and eventually died, right?
I mean,
Yahoo
with
search, right? Jeeves, right? All these
Yes,
things were in
Jeeves.
place.
Jeeves,
Yes.
Lycos,
They were
Alta
all
Vista.
like leaders over Google, and eventually Google caught up and passed them all. But Google was behind all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
good call.
remember commerce, right? Yeah. What was the first and most things was like the Yahoo stores, man, way back in the day in commerce, right? There was that merchant called Miva Merchant that still exists today. They were back then in the 90s with their own. And then eventually we shifted over into what was it? What were these early commerce platforms? God, I'm blanking here. Mara, you probably know this. What commerce? What was it called? Freak. All right, I can't remember. There's some commerce tools that happened between like 2002 to 2012 before they died.
Wix? No, what Wix?
No. It was before Wix. They were old enterprise. I don't know. This is gonna bug me. E-commerce tools. Oh, anyways, the whole point I'm making. We'll come back to this when I go figure it out. But what I'm saying is like evolution has to continue to happen. And John, I'm not completely against your thought process around open AI ultimately.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to be tough to, even though they've gotten massive fast. They also spend money faster than everyone else and considerably more. Like they are burning money.
Well, that's where Claude was really impressive. But on the other side of Claude, right, you have this problem where they don't have the most up-to-date models, right? You know, in Claude, if you go ask, they only have information till January 2025, where OpenAI is literally today relevance. That's an 11 months difference in gap in data. That's a significant amount of data.
Yeah.
And Claude has been crashing a lot more than OpenAI. So like the infrastructure that they're doing with everything, it's way better so far. But I mean, we've seen this in the 90s. There was that bubble. I think this is going to be a bubble. And I think, Jimmy, to your point, OpenAI may dominate the next 5-10 years, but there's going to be the new wave of AI, just like there was a new wave of search engine that somebody's going to dominate. But everything, I think what Google did...
Bubble. I feel like that word is being like overused with AI.
It's not.
I think so. I think it is. Bubbles happen because innovation's not continuing to push forward. I would say that over the last 12 months, we've had more innovation than ever. Right?
In what
Bubble is
sense?
speculation. It's over speculation, but it's not like the innovation hasn't been coming at the same time. Does that make sense? Like if we're continuing to move forward, people are going to invest into the future because people who invest are investing for a 5-10 year cycle, especially at the VC level. So is it really a bubble if we're moving forward? I think if we were stale and we weren't moving forward and things weren't getting better and better, there would be a bubble. Maybe?
Yes, but this is just my prediction. I think this version of AI has a ceiling. And I think there's going to be a new version. And I don't know if OpenAI is going to be the pioneer of it or somebody else. But to me, the layer between AI and quantum computing that is also not being talked about enough, by the way, is the next generation of AI. And even Sam Altman himself said that. There's a group of people that is betting on this version of AI. And I understand that. He's one of them. But there's also a group of people waiting because they understand there's going to be a second wave of AI that is going to be way better than this one.
Because of quantum computing?
Not just quantum computing, just about the leaps that we're going to be able to make forward. Because like there's things currently happening that are not ready for release in the AI world. Yeah. Whether the technology is behind, it costs too much, it's too expensive, whatever the case is.
Seems like hardware is behind, it seems like, actually, right?
No. Yeah. So I think in about 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a new wave of AI from everything I've been reading and trying to understand. And I'm probably one of the least educated people on this topic, but in 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a breakthrough. And what I'm calling a bubble is I think a lot of people are faking AI right now. There's a handful of people doing incredibly well. They're really building well with AI. Everyone else that has something that AI freaking domain name, majority of them are fake. They don't know what they're doing. They're using third parties.
It's true.
But there's
But
going to be a new front.
isn't that the wrapper, right? Like what you're basically saying, and this is where it goes back to the website conversation you're having. But to your point, exactly what you said, a lot of people are using the LLM, which is the AI side, as a wrapper, and they're wrapping their own products around it. But dude, some of these companies have gone $0 to $100 million in like a year or two, like Lovable or Wiz or what, all these different companies that are out there right now that are doing this, all built on Claude, built on top of this thing. I mean, you could almost say that AI is there and it's a commodity ultimately, and what the idea and the thought process, what you can use it for, is with the value behind it, right?
Okay, so that's a perfect actually question. They're worth 0 to 100 million that go on in a year in value, based on what?
No, not on value, in revenue.
Who?
What are you talking about? There's tons of companies that have done this. Lovable is a perfect example of one.
No, but they're doing real AI. They're not just
They're not doing real AI. They make your websites based off of Claude API.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying they're building real agents that have specialty to do something, where a lot of companies are just masking it.
Yeah, but this is the same thing though. I'm not talking about like the logistics of what I'm saying is they're sitting on top of these companies and doing this. Why couldn't a website be replaced with the same idea behind that concept? A chat layer to replace a website. Why is the website necessary?
Oh no, I agree. I'm saying the website is necessary because of human behavior. We have to change human behavior.
Okay.
People like the window shop.
I don't think people. So, maybe a bad example of BattleBox, because our demographic is a little bit older, but our chat, we have a live chat tool on our website. The amount of our visitors that actually engage with it is like wildly low. We get maybe 300,000 monthly visitors a month on our website, and we're having in a month maybe a couple hundred max engage with the chat, because but we have, at the same level, we have 3.3 average page visits per visitor per session. So it does kind of illustrate what Amir is saying here, is that whether it's window shopping, whatever you want to call it, some people don't want to engage and have that conversation, right?
Well, I think the biggest thing is chatbots are outside of what customers are in purchasing, right? Like no one's going to open up an app to then get redirected to another app to then go to a website to then purchase. There's too many layers right now. No one's going to, that, like Nina, for example, like barely has any apps on her phone. And it's like Nina's like, dude, Gen Z doesn't have apps. Like
and I have so many apps.
They have like their TikToks and Instagrams and like maybe a couple games. And then you look at my phone and I have like 4 pages of,
that's because you download those stupid ad games on the toilet all the time.
Because I get caught. It's like, oh, dude, like make your nose disappear. Download this app. And it's like, oh, dude, I need a nose disappearing app. And like I download it, right? Like
I know Brian. Brian plays those little mini games. He's like, that was great. Let's buy that one. Yes. Let's buy that one. Yeah.
Yes. But I ultimately think like it's going to be tough to get a user to then, even though it may streamline what you're looking for, you still have to exit your flow of purchase, right? Like that's a reason why
unless
Amazon,
you could buy it directly in that chat.
Unless you could buy it directly in that chat, which I think we're still like a long ways away.
No, that's what OpenAI and Shopify's partnership is all about. You understand? You know that, right?
I think back to what someone said earlier, though. I think items that are more on the commodity side, more on the absolute need side, I think those will have a place on those. But like I don't see a world where stuff that's very important and you do need to do research. Prime example would be both Oma's Pride and BattleBox. I don't see either of those living in that world where a large amount of purchases are made via AI bot.
Yeah, just like Amazon spent a ton of money on those Alexa commercials when Alexa first launched capability to voice shop. Whereas like Alexa, add whatever to shopping list, and then Alexa, add Roku remote to shopping list, purchase. that wave, at least in my family, in regards to like my parents and like family members, it was popping for a bit, and it was like, oh cool, like
so it worked for a little bit, basically, right?
yeah, and then it died off. Like now, my parents just go on Amazon and type in like what they need, and they just like hit deliver.
Well, there's issues with it's a great concept. If Amazon was the seller on all of it, I think you would have seen a true adoption. But like, I buy this giant thing of 18 energy drinks, right? My Monster Peachy Keen.
Mm-hmm.
The pricing on that changes vastly depending on the seller and how many quantity they have and winning the buy box. So like, I would never do that because I'm not okay spending $70 on it when I know it's normally $35. So I think that was probably a big issue. But you're right, Brian. Remember they pushed those little stickers you could put everywhere and you just hit it and it just orders you another one?
Yeah, no one did that.
No. I had some.
How convenient is that? Imagine like taking a paper roll, seeing that, oh, okay, I need to order more toilet paper, and nobody used it. It was so convenient because people like to shop and see. Like I work at Target, and everyone talks about Target. Like I went to Target to buy one thing and came out with a shopping cart. That's intentional. Target.
Girl math. Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
No, it's like Target very strategically creates a process of how you shop, where you enter, where you're supposed to exit, where everything is placed. I mean, like the easy one is bubble gum and snacks at the checkout.
Yeah.
Why are they there? Because they're like, oh, let me grab this. It's 50 cents. I already have a cart full of words. What's another $1 or $2?
Yeah.
So if history is repeating itself, Amer, in 2000, let's say, okay, so let's zoom back and pretend that we had our podcast in 1993, roughly. Mm-hmm. How old were you, Amer, in 1993?
I was 6 years old.
Okay, when 6-year-old Amer used to buy things, you would have to buy things in person, and then this whole thing called the internet came up, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, no one would buy and trust anything on the internet. No one would buy things on the internet without dialing up and putting their credit card numbers over the things. There's no way any of that stuff. Don't you think a lot of the skepticisms around behavioral changes will always invoke this giant bubble of fear and like worry that you're going to make up no matter what because of why it's not good, but we don't look at the positives of these things. And if you look at the .com bubble, which was the last big bubble we had, and you love to talk about bubbles, that thing took about 7 to 10 years to really form and pop, right?
Yeah.
So the question, I guess, the thought process is like, if we were looking back at 6-year-old Amer and he was looking at, oh, I'm used to shopping at Target and now I have to go into this online thing and I don't believe on this online thing. What do you think the positives of this change could be? Like, what do you think in your eyes, as someone who lives and breathes like websites, basically, right? You are into flow and design and all this stuff. And, what do you think AI is going to positively change for people? Do you not think that they can get a better experience by being able to ask questions? You can see videos, you can see custom Brian could load a video of his family today and say, here's my family. I love those hats. Can you have a picture of us wearing all those hats right now? Dude, that's so perfect. Go ahead and order 4 of those right now for me. You have my card on file already. Never interacted with the website. You don't think that could be the possibility?
No, I think it's a possibility. I'm just saying it is not a force by itself. Now, I'll tell you a phenomenon that you're overlooking with the internet in 1993.
Okay.
Do you know what happened between 1960 and 1999 in America?
Make computers.
No. Over 60% of women entered the workforce. So
Did you get that
means...
from Gronk?
Huh?
Did you get that from Gronk?
No. It's 60% of women changed started to work.
Okay.
Which means there was less people to have free time to actually start to engage with regular stores, go to stores and everything. We needed more convenience because we didn't have time to spend with kids. We didn't have time to do all of these things. So literally the entire economy over a 30-year period shifted and changed. And then at that time in 1993, nobody was buying with credit cards. People up to like 1999, 2000 were still picking up phone catalogs and everything else and saying, it's like, hey, send me a check. Once I get the check, deposit it, I'm going to send you your product. It was very slow and inconvenient. Now with credit cards, with processing, with technology evolving, and also the human paradigm shifting in the way that we live our lives, meaning both parents are working, said, hey, we need a more convenient way to buy things for our kids. That's why like the explosion of malls happened and everything during this period, because we needed one centralized location to go to get everything we needed. But then the malls started to die
I get that.
out.
So then I could argue right back right now, Amir, there's a lot of really bad websites out there that I'd rather talk to chat than sit on that damn website and order products from.
There's their problem. They didn't call me. Ask Brian how it feels to have a good website.
So I don't. So I think it'll have a use case and people will use it, but I don't think it's like the long-term future, right? I think the long-term future is much more than that. Like websites will start to die when it's just a more fluid solution of this example we're talking right now, and the smart computers. I like your hat, Jimmy. I can click on it and just buy one. Like I think that full like blown.
So we're even skipping how buying it on AI, but like a hardware type action, basically. If I'm wearing glasses,
I think
like
AI will be
right?
involved in it, right?
Yeah,
AI
Meta's
will be able
glasses.
to find it, locate it, bring it up, serve it. But I don't think it's us talking to the ChatGPT app, right?
Interesting.
I don't think
that's a fair analysis, I would say, John, because like if I think about 1995, 1992, right? To what Amara's point was, we had a new vehicle, which was the credit card, which was which unlocked convenience. If
Right.
you had new hardware that could unlock the way we use AI, right? To your point, we're walking down. This might be where Meta glasses or whatever future hardware comes into.
Yeah.
I like your hat. Hat's $14.99. Found here. Can you order for me? Yes. Cards on file. It orders it. That's a use of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the future that we'll get
Do you
to.
know
AI
and
and
the bridge
hardware.
to that is? The bridges to that is when your threshold for free shipping is $100 and you're at $90, to have AI suggest like, hey, here's 5 products that you might like that's going to get you free shipping. You don't have to click back out of the checkout. You don't have to look for it. What is $5? What's going to fit me? What's in inventory? What's not? And that now helps businesses and it helps the consumer. It's a win-win for both. You don't have to leave the checkout when you're ready to go and you get better value. I think there's going to be these incremental things. My thing is, and I don't know what the answer is. I like John's. I think that's a really, really good application of it. I don't know what needs to happen to change the human behavior to shift it towards what you're describing. But I think there's incredible things are going to come out of AI. For all the people that are scared out of, I'm not scared of AI. I think AI improves medicine. I think AI makes me smarter. I think AI helps my team develop faster. I think AI replaces some of these tedious jobs that can push people to do more, forward-thinking things in school education. I was talking to a kid. He's like, "What should I go for in school?" And I said, "Finance and AI engineering." There's nothing in between. Most 2 important things that will never go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that.
And to those points, I think AI helps your Amazon, Walmart, Target marketplaces cannibalize websites versus AI cannibalizing our websites themselves. Because ultimately, the only reason why your Amazons and Walmart succeeded, and the only reason why Jeff Bezos decided to lose 9 figures every year on opening up new warehouses across every 140 square miles or whatever it was at one point, is because people wanted the convenience of getting their stuff in a day or same day or next day. And I think that's price and then convenience of having a marketplace to find everything, but also getting your product within 2 hours now. AI is going to help speed that cannibalization up of your markets, like other Shopify brands that sell the same stuff. Because why am I going to go on your website? Now AI has just helped Walmart and Amazon get my order within 30 minutes which obviously it exists with DoorDash right now and all that, Instacart. But Shopify stores, unless you're a John product or a Brian product, that actually Amazon's not gonna touch raw pet food, right? At least right now. But a majority of the market, there's no reason why Shopify stores will even exist, just because of the cannibalization of your major markets.
Here's a hot take. Amazon, as we know it, is not going to be around in 10 to 15 years.
As we know it, it still will be it'll be the largest company in the world.
It'll be the largest company in the world, but they will not sell merchandise.
Why, you think they're going to be a logistics company?
I think they're going to become a full-out technology company.
But I don't think that has to come at the expense of not selling merchandise.
Well, here's the thing. It comes at the expense of, is it worth it? Because their profit margin on merchandise is like 4 to 5%. Their profit
but it's their loss leader. It's their loss leader in order to make money on the tech side and data side.
But without the Costco hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, but at a certain point, it becomes not worth it.
So why would anyone use Amazon?
Why would what?
There's no other use case to use Amazon if they don't sell product.
Cloud. That's where all their money is.
Well, their money comes from tech. Yeah, they're a cloud site.
Yeah, but I don't think they stopped doing it.
No, I couldn't imagine a world like the problem. The problem with websites versus Amazon, to your point, Brian, is that when I'm on Amazon and I have an idea, I want to throw a party and I need to buy products, right? I can go on Amazon and buy products from 5 different vendors and get them all into one cart and get it ordered and done. You literally can't do that on the brand side. And so unless your brand is selling a particular arrangement of things that solves your problem, oftentimes you're going to brands just purely due to loyalty. I actually think that websites are just your loyalty site now eventually. Like it's the place where your most loyal customers come.
It's why Chewy's grown so large so fast, because they're now your one-stop shop for all things pet.
Destination.
Right? Yeah,
it's become a place where you can get all your things. Like you're right. I go to Chewy. My wife goes to Chewy and she orders the treats. She orders the medicine. She orders like the accessories and stuff like that. And they all show up. And a lot of stuff is on auto ship and they show up every month on our doorstep, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that there is an evolution. I think that just like mobile apps, we're going to find websites to be more of a loyalty site. I think it already is, though, honestly. Like people don't, unless you're really loyal to the brand, come back to your website all the time, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
Think about what you buy from Amazon. And I think this is what's going to fight. So I'm actually going to use Apple as an example. If I go to Best Buy or any other reseller of Apple, I do not get the same service from Apple as I do going to Apple. And that I think applies to a majority of brands. So I think there's always a better relationship there to loyalty.
To the most loyal people, yes.
Yeah. Now, but the second thing is when I'm speaking to myself, I don't know how you guys are. I buy from Amazon things that require no decision making. To Brian's point, if I need a charger for Apple, sure, I don't care. It's $20, $30. I'll buy it from there. Anything that's like to $20, $30, kind of like the TikTok shop, I go to Amazon. No thinking, I'll buy it from there. If we're talking about shoes, if we're talking about furniture, if we're talking about clothing, I want to go to the place and see what, not just because of the convenience or the loyalty factor, but also like I want to understand what more can I buy. My fiance Eleni, she was shopping on Uggs the other day. She wanted to get some Ugg boots, whatever. And she showed it to me, and I always remind her, wait for the abandonment email to get it cheaper. And now she shows me last night, she has like 10 items in there. She's like, do you like any of these? I was like, I thought you were just getting boots. She's like, well, they have nice jackets. They have nice socks. They have nice this. They have nice that. And I don't think you get as great of an experience with that with Amazon. And the reason it is, I think Amazon, you won right away. I don't think she goes to Amazon and creates a huge AOV for UGG. She buys the boots, she checks out, she gets them the next day or the day after. Where with the brand, the AOV and that loyalty is way, way greater. And she keeps going. And she still hasn't placed her order. And I'm like,
I think that's unique behavior, though.
And you also need, as a brand, you need a very unique product and positioning in the market that you're in. because ultimately, like, that's like 1% of all Shopify stores.
Do you know why the only time I ended up buying directly from the brand, and this is terrible to say, but like the reason is that sometimes the discounts are just better on the brand site. That literally is the only answer.
Well,
for
they're not
me,
paying Amazon 30 points.
What's that?
Yeah.
They're not paying Amazon 30 points.
Yeah. And so for me, that's the only reason I will. And to Amara's point, I will go there and buy the product, and maybe I'll look around. But the reality is, when I need a product, I don't usually need a product and a bunch of little things that are adjacent to that product. I need I need something for the purpose of that product. So if I'm buying this pen, I need the pen, the paper, the carrying case, and all the different things. A lot of times when I go to the pen website, I don't end up finding those other items. But if I go to Amazon, I can find this exact same pen on Amazon and all the other items that I need and order from there with convenience.
And this is the great example of how Staples built their business, how Office Max built.
Of course, verticalization, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, though, where I think websites are becoming more of a loyalty thing is, or an informational research thing, which that I believe that AI and chat and all of these things will take over, is that the only reason I go to websites often is because I want to see what other colors they have, or maybe I need better information than is being served in the marketplace right now. But the reality is, most products I buy, to your point, Amer, are transactional nature. But the reality is, on Amazon, you can buy a car now. You can buy a brand new Hyundai, dude.
Just like eBay cars and like
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, the fact that you can do that is like a big change in the behavior that's already happening. Like, you think Amazon's selling cars because they're not selling any cars on their site? They're probably selling cars on their site.
I didn't know you could buy a car on Amazon.
There you go. He doesn't even know, but they're selling cars. You can buy brand new
you could buy a house.
used cars on Amazon. Yes, you could buy little houses now too.
Yeah.
Look at John. He's going to go buy a car right now. I need a new car.
My thing, and I actually maybe question for you, Jimmy, but directly to Brian and John, from a brand perspective. And when I say brand, I'm not talking individually. I'm talking holistically. There's also, I think, leans and pullbacks from brand side that also dictate this conversation. I think obviously every brand is very concerned.
Dude, this is nuts. Hyundai's whole line is on there?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude. Why leave your home when they could deliver the car right to your doorstep, John?
I mean, eBay's been doing it for decades now. It's nothing new.
Yeah, but it's just different. They're basically the middleman, the dealership now, versus eBay Cars is private sellers.
Oh, so like it's actually Amazon.
Yes, it's Amazon selling you the car like a dealership.
I mean, Carvana. I mean, not. Yeah. So they can do it. They can do it.
It's wild.
But anyways, it's kind of wild that we went down this rabbit hole and completely away from AI.
No, it's not. It's not though. We're literally picking apart what actually is caused or why it would cause the behavior change. It is behavior, humans, and there's a physical place to it. I think that there's going to be a world. I don't think there's a world where websites disappear. My prediction is that websites become a loyalty play, just like mobile apps have become a loyalty play.
Yeah. Well, and also too, like, away from the consumer buying piece of AI, even in the infancy stage of AI right now, it's already probably saved us the past 3 months, probably $10,000 to $15,000 in dry ice, because now we utilize this new AI dry ice tool in our fulfillment center that predicts transit routes and weather temperatures during that transit route. And that will tell us how much dry ice that will need to stay in the box for the amount of time the box is in transit, versus before this tool came out. Now, granted, it's been out for almost like 10 months now, but when we did fulfillment on our own, it was like, hey, it's a summertime, like, let's just throw 10 pounds of dry ice in every box to make sure it gets there. And now, due to the AI tool itself...
What is that? Is the tool really AI, or is it just like analyzing data that exists?
So it's quick. Good question, John. It's quickly pulling weather during transit, that data piece of it, but what it's doing is it's now the AI piece of it is actually inputting it into each individual order in a timely fashion for it to be picked and packed within a day's time.
I guess it's more agentic.
Before, you could have done it, right? You could have had a nerd sit there and like pull a spreadsheet of your 4,000 shipments and then pull the data, input into the spreadsheet, and then input into the system. Now it just does it all for you, right? So there are a lot of elements right now that it's already helping the brand side of it, tremendously.
I love that you love that your dry ice example,
Yeah.
Ryan. I've heard that example a couple times, but it's true. It's very much where you've found something that really helped you guys out, and each thing will change. I mean, dude, your pet food, you got quizzes, you got calculators. Imagine if you could feed this all into a chatbot, and then you could just have the chatbot talk to the human on the other end in voice and video and chat, and literally solve the same problem of, hey, I've got Rocky, 116-pound dog, and this dog. Can you tell me what I need? And use blah, 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 blah. Can you build that cart? Blah, blah, blah. Can you put that on 6-week recurring? Sure. Boom.
Boom, done.
I don't really need to see what your product looks like. It's dog food, bro. Like, I don't need to know. It's mush,
Yeah. No, I hear
the
you.
interesting part that I think is going to happen with AI with websites too. I think there is this play that Apple kind of gave to the forefront about protecting data, consumer, and not knowing who they are. I think AI is going to enable more collection of data because people will want to be catered to. And I can foresee, let's say in Brian's case, somebody being identified through their quiz, as an example, what kind of dog they have, how old their dog is, what the stage of life is, somebody like you, Jimmy. And once we identify Jimmy coming back to the website using a cookie or whatever opted way you did for AI, we just cater you all the products that are exactly fit for your dog.
Pre-built cart, ready to go.
Yeah, everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's not, and now maybe instead of you spending 10 minutes searching and editing, maybe you presented a cart that you just remove items from.
Yeah, because every minute they're on the site is 10% chance of them that they're not going to check out anyways, right? So
yeah,
I think it's even less.
I think there's like, I think there's like things like that need to happen before we get to what you're doing. I think humans are just too lazy to prompt properly. To learn to prompt.
2 years ago, Brian would have argued with me that there's no way that TikTok Shop could be a hyper relevant channel for a business, right?
Yeah, and no one even really knows. Everyone's just talking.
Yeah, I was going to say, while I love
profit at all,
TikTok
it's all
Shop,
GMV. How much money are you guys making on this fucking thing?
right?
Well, John makes money on TikTok Shop.
But it's a very transactional. It's low AOV. It doesn't. It's a volume game.
But I would almost argue though that John, that is part of your business model that you've unlocked, that you've realized that you have a transactional, just like if you had a product on a shelf at a retail store where just person walked by and picked it up, right? Like it's no different. You have no idea who bought that, and hopefully they'll love the product. And if you're delivering a good product or service, they're going to go talk about you regardless if you know about them or not.
Here's what John does really well is what I think a lot of other brands make a mistake in. John understands that every channel has a different purpose and behavior.
Yes.
And he leans into that. He doesn't force it. It sometimes takes him patience and iterations to figure it out. But once he figures out, he leans into whatever extent he can lean into, where I think a lot of people are like, oh, TikTok Shop is never going to work for me. Of course, if you're trying to do the exact same thing on your website, it's never going to work.
Yeah, it's just different.
But if you lean into the purpose of it and what it works for, it's going to take off. And why can't John figure out 50 items that he has in overstock at $25, drop it to $18 on TikTok, and move him out of there so he doesn't have.
That's a good use case. That's a good use case for.
Yeah. It's a channel, right? And I think that this is where this will change. And we don't know. I mean, none of us know what's going to happen. I do think there's an interesting future in what's happening and way people are buying and shopping and making decisions. And who knows, man? I mean, mobile websites were supposed to be the future of the world 10 years ago or 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It was the future.
And they are in a different sense.
I don't think so. You said it. Everyone just transformed
mobile
and
websites
adopted.
Responsive websites.
Yes, they adopted and changed. There was a time, right, where you had to get an app to do what you could do now on a website.
But 80 to 90% of transactions, depending on the brand, happen on a mobile environment. Whether that is an app, whether that's a website. They were correct, just different application.
Yeah, the application being different. So the question is, will e-commerce, will websites continue to live? I think the answer is yes, but I do think that to what you said, it becomes more of a loyalty channel. That's my humble opinion about websites. I think more and more you get discovered, you're advertising, you're prospecting. It doesn't make sense for many businesses to go out there and utilize your website. It makes more sense to utilize other top of the funnels that are available and out there, and then letting your website become your loyalty and premium channel. That's my humble opinion.
Somebody like Amazon goes from 30% to 40%, and you're like, I'm no longer profitable.
You got to find a way to make it profitable. This is a problem of the business, not the problem of the marketplace or the human behavior.
Oh, no, it's not. It's the problem of the business, but that's what I'm saying is you need two buyers of that platform. One is the consumer, the other one is the brand. And I think there's a lean in, lean out, lean in, lean out, and it just
but you go to the one place that has the best distribution. It's where your traffic is. It's where the buyers are. It's the people with wallet share are. And that currently, with the domination of the market, is Amazon.
Yeah, but then that gets oversaturated. Amazon makes the play, and then you go back. You just got to be an early adopter and everything. Just like subscription brands, 15 years ago, everyone that
I don't know. I think that Amazon's too big to fail at this point, though.
Yeah,
Amazon
is
going to change the
winding
behavior.
backwards.
Yeah, some nerd in Ohio is not going to take down Jeff Bezos in his garage. You know?
There's literally nothing. If anyone had a chance, it'd be like a Walmart.
Nobody's too big. Nobody's too big.
Well,
I'll show you. I got a guy.
All right. With that being said, no, it was a great conversation around websites in the future, and it was clickbait. Websites are dead. I really just wanted to hear your thoughts, everyone's thoughts and inputs around it. I wanted to pick on Amer a little bit because he cares about websites a lot, and I want to hear his take around it, because the reality is the future is changing fast. And guys, when we shot our first pod years ago, 12, 15 months ago, whatever that was, what was that day? It was like a May in Georgia, like a year and a half ago, basically, right?
Yeah.
Remember, John was like, I want to build SaaS because SaaS is cool. And I was like, nah, SaaS isn't going to be cool. Things are changing right now. Dude, in the last 18 months, things have changed dramatically. Doesn't mean SaaS is dead, but it sure has changed a lot. The idea of enterprise SaaS is near non-existent these days. Tools are getting cheaper and cheaper. Lovable, perfect example. They went from 0 to 100 million in less than a year of actual revenue, right? Annual reoccurring revenue they've earned. And they're doing it at like a $25 a person head. Like, think about that. These customers.
I didn't know there were 100 million.
They are over 100 million ARR, bro. Less than a year. All right? Less than a year.
And it's such a garbage product too.
When they lock you in at $25, that doesn't get you a whole lot, because if you actually prompt it and use it, that you have to buy more tokens and credit and everything. So I wonder what their true AOV is, but yes, it's wild.
I don't know what it is, but the reality is though that's like the way the world is, right? Like that's where this world is, and SaaS has evolved. It's still SaaS, but it's layered on, and it's just a filter and a wrapper today, but it won't be a wrapper tomorrow. We don't know where that's going either, right? So I think it's an interesting conversation, guys. But anyways, that's the end of the pod here today. For John Roman, the Android-loving survival king, for Brian, hands down his pants McDonald, and we might have to blur that out. That was a little bit too much. And then we've got a mayor. What are we going to call him? Formerly known as the mayor of Chicago. He's moved on to the president of Bosnia now. I'm Jimmy Kim. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. See you guys later. Adios.
Welcome to the awesome pod where we talk a lot. E-com is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.